What's up, everybody? It's your boy Baddog back with another New York Giants video. In this video, I want to talk about Daniel Jones, kind of go over his performance and pretty much what I think. And I said pretty much what I thought last night, but I kind of want to get deeper into it. And I'm also going to say that if Daniel Jones has a bad year and the Giants have a bad year, Dave Gettleman's going to be fired. When you take a quarterback 6th overall, which is met with a ton of scrutiny by the media, by the fans, by pretty much all the football experts that didn't see Daniel Jones going 6th overall in the draft, and you take him there after you drafted a running back 2nd overall, and he's had one good season. I mean, it's only his 3rd year, so I'm not going to kill Saquon Barkley, but you take a running back 2nd overall, then you take a quarterback, and that quarterback fails, and you've had 2 really bad losing seasons. He's going to be gone. I don't want him to be gone, but that's going to be the reality of the situation. Daniel Jones has to have a better year. He cannot have the same type of year he had last year. He can't be equal to that. He has to be better, and the Giants got to be better, or Dave Gettleman's going to find himself in the unemployment office. That's just where he's going to end up being. Now, Daniel Jones, one thing I say, I watched a lot of Giants videos, and besides Rover, who killed him, I mean, I wasn't that harsh on Daniel. Just everybody was sticking up for him, but for the most part. Some guys agreed with me in my video, some guys didn't. I watched Chris's video, obviously. I watched Fisk Vegas. Fisk Vegas says, oh, the Giants were impressive. See, I don't buy that. Giants fans are becoming, we've been so bad over the last few years that New York Giants fans are now considering moral victories. And I see these excuses. Well, we played a top 3 defense. Well, the offensive line's new. Well, Daniel Jones played a really good game outside of those 2 interceptions. Well, you can't go outside of those 2 interceptions. He threw those 2 interceptions. He didn't fumble. I mean, this is what Giants fans are hanging their hat on now. He had a good game because he didn't fumble? So now we're looking at things like that. How about don't turn it over at all? How about make a better decision with the football in critical moments of the game? I love Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is my guy. I'll fight tooth and nail for Daniel Jones. I'm still high on Daniel Jones. I still think Daniel Jones is going to be a great quarterback. But at the same time, I'm not a player guy. I don't play favorites. If you do bad, I'm going to call you out. If you do good, I'm going to give you credit. Daniel Jones did some good things last night. There's no doubt about it. But when the game mattered most in critical situations, he failed. And that's just how it is. We recover a fumble on the 3-yard line at the beginning of the game. Can't get in the end zone. Okay, that's on Daniel Jones. Yes, I know Evan Engram ran a bad route, but you got to find a way to get it in there. You have to. You got to score there. You got to put that on the quarterback. Yeah, I know people are like, hey, Daniel Jones was better pocket presence. Daniel Jones is pointing out that where the guys were coming from and this and that. He was making good adjustments at the line. Sure, he should do that, but he also shouldn't turn the ball over. Obviously, we're up 10-3. We just get a 3 and out. He goes back, blind read. He just throws it. He doesn't even really pay attention. TJ Watt makes a great play, but you cannot make that throw. That throw was never there to be had. The defender was covering the receiver out in the flat. That throw was never going to be complete. It was a dangerous throw from the beginning. He stepped back through it. Did not look, just stepped back and just said, I'm going there. And the ball is picked off. Steelers went down, scored a touchdown. That killed all of our momentum. And then, of course, we're down 16-10. Go all the way down, have an 8.5-minute, 9-minute drive, and Daniel Jones finishes it with an interception where he tried to throw the ball either to the end zone or out of the end zone. Either way, you got to throw it out of bounds, and you're rolling to your weak side. You can't throw across your body with a guy in your face. Bud Dupree tipped the ball, sure, but even so, Daniel Jones, that receiver wasn't open anyway, so I don't know where he was going with that ball. But you can't just sit there and go, well, he didn't fumble when he turned the ball over twice. You can't say Daniel Jones had a good game, except for the 2 turnovers, because it's all part of it. He did not have a consistent game. And again, I'm not trying to kill Daniel Jones here. I'm just being realistic. I'm just being honest about what's going on with the Giants fan base, myself included, right? I don't get happy about moral victories. I'm not going to say we're impressive in a loss. We were down 26-10 in that game. We were never close in the second half of it after that interception in the end zone. I mean, you could see the life come out of me. You could see it come out of Chris. And even though you couldn't see the chat, you could definitely feel it in the chat. The air went out of the balloon at that point, man. We knew the game was over the way that drive had finished. So like Fisk Vegas making the Giants are impressive. No, they were not. They were down 26-10. They got a meaningless touchdown at the end of the game that helped the score look closer, that helped Daniel Jones' stats look better. But if you watch that game, we got destroyed. And, well, I shouldn't say we got destroyed. We were in that game, but critical mistakes hurt us in that game, okay? That's not impressive to me, though. Losing's not impressive. Win these games. You're up 10-3. You're down 16-10. Finish that drive with 6 points. Find a way to win the game. Then you're going to impress me. You can talk about the positives all you want. The positives should continue to go forward, but you have to address the negatives, because if you don't look at the negatives and you're only addressing the positives, you're never going to correct the negatives that happen. Again, Daniel Jones needs to come out. He needs to stop turning the ball over. He needs to do a better job in big situations like that of making better decisions. And that's all it is. He's young quarterback. I mean, this is only his 13th game in the NFL. He didn't have the training camp that he needed. He didn't have, preseason games. And I get all that. Okay, so this is why I'm not killing him. But at the same time, I have to be critical. This is a football game. You do need to win these games. Everybody was in the same situation. Nobody played a preseason game. Nobody had a ton more training camp than another team. So, regardless, you can talk about the game calling. You can talk about learning a new system. The throws that he made had nothing to do with the system. If Daniel Jones threw a bullet pass and it hit Evan Ingram right in the chest and it bounced up in the air and the ball's intercepted, I'm not going to place the blame on Daniel Jones. But the fact of the matter is, those 2 interceptions were definitely on him, and you cannot just pick and choose and go, well, he played really well except for the 2 interceptions. You can't do that. You can't say the Giants played really well except for the fact that, Saquon Barkley had 6 yards rushing. Well, the defense played really well except for the fact that Ben Roethlisberger threw 3 touchdowns. You can't do that. You have to address the entire game. Like I said, defense got some pressure in the first half. They played well in the first half. But you got to finish that. You got to continue to put that effort forward. You got to continue to execute the entire game. You can't just pick and choose moments and go, well, we had good moments here, we had good moments here, because pretty much in every football game, no matter how good or bad you are, you're always going to be able to find something good that they did. It's gotten so bad here with the Giants that now we're looking at moral victories and saying that we were impressive in games that we were down 26-10 when the game was out of hand. With 2 minutes to go, we scored a meaningless touchdown. You're just talking about how Daniel Jones was impressive and Daniel Jones improved and everything else when he turned the ball over twice. To me, that's not improvement. To me, improvement is winning these games, finding a way to not turn the ball over and making the plays when you have to. Maybe I sound harsh. I'm not being harsh. I'm being fair. And this is what I do. I try to be as unbiased as I possibly can. Like I said, I'm not a player guy. I don't play fantasy football. I don't like fantasy football because I've always said those statistics are for fantasy football and losers. When you lose, you talk about stats. When you're playing fantasy football, it's all based on stats. So Daniel Jones' fantasy line looks a lot better. His stats look a lot better. But at the end of the day, those 70 yards and a touchdown at the end of the game mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. We didn't win the game. I'd rather Daniel Jones throw for 121 yards, throw 3 interceptions, have a terrible game and win. I'd rather have that than him throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns and lose. I don't want to have to come out here and go, well, Daniel Jones played well, but we lost. I'd rather say Daniel Jones needs to get better. At least we won the game. It's just me. You know what I mean? So you're never going to talk about a guy's statistics when you win a game, but when you lose, they're always brought up. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much longer about this, but Daniel Jones, like I said, he did some good things, he did some bad things, but at the end of the day, he's got to clean this up, but he's got to be more consistent. It's just that simple. Stop turning the ball over. Can't turn the ball over. The Giants got to find a way to run the ball too. That doesn't help his case, but at the end of the day, those 2 turnovers were on him. It's not because that he had some passes bounce off the receiver. The receiver ran the completely wrong route. Just things he's got to clean up. I think he can do it. I have a lot of faith in Daniel Jones. I have a lot of confidence in him. But at the end of the day, like I said, a loss is a loss. And to me, yeah, you can always find positives out of a loss, but nothing's more positive than actually winning the game. The Giants don't do a lot of that lately. So I don't take moral victories out of losing. 37 out of our last 49 games we lost. We've been the worst team in football since 2016. To me, yeah, there's some good things to take out of the game, but really nothing positive comes out of a loss. That's just the way I look at it. But that's me. And what can I say? I'm the Bad Diggity Dizzle. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday, and I am gone. Peace!